Hello everybody and welcome back to Gardens and Crystals with me, Wesley Peterson. And today we are in the area of our garden called the Wild Orchard Garden. And here, everything that grows has come here by itself. All I have done is created a pathway through this area around the wild plant beds, and everything in here has always been here from before we bought the cottage 4 years ago. The only thing I do is I clear the pathways. I come and trim the pathway and clear the edges so that we can get through, and I only allow the plants, especially the trees that keep trying to come up in this area, to grow a maximum of 2.5 to 3 meters high, because otherwise we will not get these low growing plants that flower out later on, wild plants. So the one that is the main focus at this time of year in September is this beauty here in front of me. This can be found in purple, pink, white, dark and light pinks, various tones of those colours, and they are really, really beautiful plants. The only thing about them is that they are an invasive species, and most people won't want them in their garden because they spread their seeds by popping them out all over the place, and then the next year they will be everywhere. But the good thing about this plant is that they're very, very easy to pull up. If you have them in an area of the garden that you don't want them, you literally just take up a plant. I'll take one up just to show you. If you put on a plant like this, it comes up very, very easily, and its root system, as you see here, is not very deep at all. Now this is only a small plant, just to let you see the flowers much closer. This is only a small plant, but these plants can get much taller than me. And I'm telling you, the trunks, I've seen them here like this, literally like this. But at the moment, they're quite small and thin because there isn't that much light that comes down to this area. But if they manage to get into an area where there's a little bit more light, they can really grow thick, like a kind of bamboo trunk. They have these wonderful flowers, and at this time of year, they are really, really helping the insects. There are so many bees on these plants. Many, many bumblebees, honeybees, there are hoverflies, there are flies, there are all sorts of insects. And that's why a wild orchard garden is also very important, because you are helping the natural fauna and flora of your area to thrive. At this time of year, it's very difficult for the insects to find food. So by leaving things like this, you're helping those insects, and they will be around in your garden pollinating other plants that you really do want to grow. So yes, you can cut these back. Yes, you can pull them out. But if you have an area where you can make a wild orchard garden, then do it, because you will be rewarded with a different kind of sensibility, an area where you don't have to go in and tidy everything up all the time crazily and make it look neat. You can let it be rough around the edges as long as you can get in and out. I will be showing you this pathway after I've spoken here. I haven't trimmed it back yet on the edges, and I haven't trimmed the bottom, but I'll show you it before and after. I just wanted to give you a little introduction to this beautiful plant. The flowers are like a hook shape. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? And the bees go in there, get the nectar, and off they go. So I've had no trouble with this plant. If it's come up in the botanical garden, if it's come up anywhere else, just pull up the stalks, they come up, you can clearly see them, they come out very easily, gone, not a problem. But here, they're allowed to do what they want, as long as they're not in my pathway. That's the only place I don't want them, but they're beautiful. So let's go and take a closer look at them as I show you from behind the camera as we walk around the pathways here. Now I haven't been here for a while, so I haven't been out clearing the pathway, but I'll do that later, and then you will see another video when everything here is tidied up. But for now, you just need to enjoy all these blooms before they'll be gone again. And they are only here for this short period in September every year. And I'm amazed by it. I just think it's beautiful. Look at those beautiful veins of quartz in this huge granite boulder. Absolutely wonderful, and what a beautiful surprise it was when we bought Crystal Cottage and found all this out here. Hence the name of the cottage itself. And then this beautiful plant all the way around. I mean, I'm not going to say no. They can spread as much as they want to in here, because if you look here, this is the pathway. And again, I'm showing you the pathway before it's been strimmed. So I'll just pan back around the same pathway. You can see lots of the beautiful boulders in here. Gardens and crystals completely beautifully married together. And all these wonderful wild plants doing exactly what I want them to do in this wild garden. Aren't the colours just amazing in here right now? I just can't get enough. Oh, I could just go around in here all day long. We really need to do what we can to help these bees. Bumblebees, honeybees, they are what make sure the next generation of plants come around the next year and survive. We really, really need them. They are very important pollinators, and they are on the decline. So wild garden areas are extremely important. So this absolutely stunningly flowering plant is called Impatiens gladulifera. It spreads very easily by popping out seeds from these seed heads. See here. You see how the seeds, they explode out, and oh, you can see in my hand here. The seeds explode out and spread all over. Now these beautiful white seed heads you can see here, they are from a plant called Himalayan angustifolium, and they also spread really easily. They like to come up in cleared areas, or areas where there might have been a fire, or just completely opened and cleared. These pop up and have the most beautiful pink flowers as well on long stems. You can see these long stems full of seed heads. They were long pink flower heads, but I've missed it. Here I have a better picture of the seed heads of this Himalayan angustifolium, and there's one here. And they go all the way up there. They can get really, really tall. So I'll get some of these again next year. And out here in the wild orchard garden, they're very welcome, because look at this beautiful edging to this pathway here. With the Impatiens gladulifera, I have a few weeks of beautiful flowering plants. These are like the centerpiece at this time of year in September. They brighten up all the rest of the lush green around. So now I've trimmed the whole of the wild orchard garden pathway and trimmed the plants at the edge, so you can actually see the pathway a lot more now. There you go. So you have more of an idea of walking through this beautiful wild area. And this pathway's become really nice. There was no grass here before, but now it's flushed out with grass. So when I trim it, when I cut the grass, it just looks really nice. And on the edges, both sides, we've got the Impatiens gladulifera looking absolutely beautiful now as we go round, giving this beautiful purples and pink colours as you follow the path round to the other side, and then the next pathway. There we go. So everything, as you see on the sides, still growing. I've allowed this beautiful plant to hang over the edge to give a natural look by that stone. And then the pathway carries on round and back towards Crystal Cottage. Now I'll quickly pan around again, and we can take a quick walk around again from the other view. There you go, you can see the pathway really clearly. I'm really pleased with how this wild orchard garden is turning out, as all the plants, the shrubs, the bushes on the edges grow out, and then you get beautiful areas like this with lush green plants on the top of old tree stumps. And then there are the big boulders with the quartz crystal in them. So soon I'll be trimming down the plants at the front so we can see the boulder again properly. So follow the pathway round and back out again towards the Garden of New Beginnings on the left side. So we come out here, and Crystal Woods on the right. But those are other areas that we will talk about in another video. So from here at Crystal Cottage in our wild orchard garden, I'd just like to say thank you very much once again for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed this little run around in here, seeing how the wild orchard garden looks. And please subscribe, and I'll see you in another video. So thank you very much, and goodbye.